When Ravens GM Eric DeCosta talked with reporters on a conference call last week, he talked about the quality of this year's receiver class. He talked about some of the top-end players who are likely to go in the first 15 picks of this year's draft, but he also made a really interesting point about the depth of this year's receiver class. He said you might be able to find starting caliber wide receivers. We're talking about immediate starters as late as the 5th round this year. That's not something you often see. And after DeCosta said that, we had a call with ESPN's draft expert Mel Kiper on an episode of the Lounge podcast, and we had to learn from Mel who some of those 5th round gems could be that DeCosta mentioned.
I'll give you some names of guys that could maybe be in that category. You would be looking at James Prochet out of SMU. You could be looking at Isaiah Coulter out of Rhode Island. Antonio Gandy, Golden Liberty could drop because people say, well, he ran a 4.6. He was 223 pounds. He's a big kid. John Hightower out of Boise State, local kid from this area. Let's see, Desmond Patman out of Washington State. I'm not as high on Donovan Peoples-Jones as Todd is. I think he'll go a lot earlier than he really should, but he'll be gone by then. Quez Watkins as a kid could drop into the 5th out of Southern Miss, had a really good year there as well. Joe Reed out of Virginia. So there's going to be, I think, some guys that do drop. If we'll see where Brian Edwards, like I say, South Carolina goes as well. If he's around in that 4th, 5th round area, he'd be interesting. I'm not as high on Tyree Cleveland. Some people think overreacted to the combine. I didn't see it. He was a gunner on special teams, did a good job there, but as a receiver, wasn't impressed. So Tyree Cleveland, I wouldn't factor into the equation like some. Lynn Bowden Jr., who played some quarterback this year, did a great job, saved Kentucky's season, moving from receiver to quarterback, also has return skills. He could be a good 4th round guy.
Now, all the guys that Mel mentioned, the two that I really like are James Prochet from SMU and also Lynn Bowden Jr. from Kentucky. So we'll see if the Ravens end up with any of those guys. And if you want a full breakdown from Mel Kiper, then go ahead and check out the latest episode of the Lounge Podcast, which is available wherever you get your podcasts. That's it for me on Final Drive. Thanks for watching. We'll see all of you again tomorrow.